It's been weeks in the making, but it could finally happen now. We're talking about Israel's attack on Iran. Look at the build-up. Israel has a THAAD missile system. It's an American system that was deployed recently. The US has also sent 100 soldiers to Israel to operate this system. Yahya Sinwar, the mastermind of the October 7th attack, is dead, and Prime Minister Netanyahu has been dropping hints. Iran could be his next target.
Well, 2 days ago, we took out Yahya Sinwar, the terrorist mastermind whose goons beheaded our men, raped our women, burnt babies alive. We took him out, and we're continuing our battle with Iran's other terrorist proxies. We're going to win this war.
Netanyahu released that video over the weekend. His home in northern Israel was attacked by a drone. It happened on Saturday morning. This was a Hezbollah operation. They launched 3 drones from Lebanon. They failed to cause any serious harm. 2 drones were intercepted. The third one struck a building and caused some damage. Israel has not released details about this strike. We don't know if this drone hit Netanyahu's home or not, or which building was damaged in the attack. But here's what we can tell you. When Hezbollah launched their attack, Netanyahu and his wife were not at the residence. No one was hurt, and their response was sharp. Israel intensified its bombing campaign in both Lebanon and Gaza.
اطفي النور اطفي النور بقى مين
So Iranian proxies are gunning for Netanyahu as he prepares to attack Tehran. How do we know for sure? Well, Israel's war plans have been leaked. Americans have been gathering intelligence on Israel, and their assessments, the American assessments, have surfaced online. A source called the Middle East Spectator released these papers. Copies of these documents were first spotted on Telegram. Reports say the Middle East Spectator has links to Iran. But how did they get access to these top secret plans? Apparently, someone from within the US establishment leaked these secret documents. And they're not fake. Multiple media outlets have verified them, saying that these are legitimate papers. And what do they tell us? They describe an elaborate operation. How does Israel plan to strike Iran? Using its air force. Israeli Air Force continues preparations for strikes on Iran. That's literally the title of one of these documents. Inside, there are satellite images and intercepted conversations. They reveal the depth of Israel's planning. Apparently, the IDF is preparing dozens of aircraft and missiles. F-15 fighter jets and drones are involved. Israeli pilots have been doing training exercises. There's also a mention of 3 Israeli airfields being used: combat, search and rescue aircraft, surveillance aircraft, and refueling aircraft. Like I said, this is quite an extensive plan. It also describes the potential scale of the operation, the use of multiple airfields, aircraft and drones, refueling aircraft, search and rescue teams. All of this suggests that Israel is planning a big operation. And which targets are they aiming for? Well, there is no mention of targets in these papers, but several reports claim that Israel will go after Iranian military sites. Although Tehran believes it will be worse, that Israel will strike its nuclear installations. So Iran has issued a warning and lodged a complaint at the United Nations.
We have sent our protest letter to the Secretariat and the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency. This is a fundamental responsibility of the Foreign Ministry, and we will certainly pursue this matter further.
It all comes down to Netanyahu now. Taking out Sinwar gave him a political boost. A new poll, in fact, reflects this. Netanyahu's Likud party has come out on top. If elections were to be held today, Netanyahu's party, the Likud party, will be the largest one in Israel. But here's the other side of the story. Israelis do not want the war to go on, at least according to this poll. They want Prime Minister Netanyahu to sign a deal and get the hostages back from Gaza. In fact, many Israelis have been protesting. Over the weekend, they took to the streets in Tel Aviv.
I think the recent developments, especially Sinwar's death, makes us both extremely anxious for her fate. but also hopeful that this might be a turning point, that this should be used as a mean to seal the deal, to end the hostage situation and bring them all home now.
So I think that these events that we saw this week provide a strong message to all of our enemies that we are continue to fight them and we will not surrender to the terrors. But at the same time, we are looking to have a deal to bring our hostages back home as soon as possible. And this is the right time to do it.
Will Netanyahu listen to these calls? To free all hostages, he must agree to a ceasefire, and that's something that he keeps rejecting. But the US has been piling on the pressure, asking the Israeli leader to end the fighting. US President Biden is sending his Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, to Israel today. This will be Blinken's 11th visit to Israel in 1 year. He's trying to revive the dialogue for a ceasefire, although it's a long shot. With the US elections round the corner and Biden's time in office nearing its end, Netanyahu has every reason to thwart his moves. And given his recent successes, he's more likely to take bigger risks now.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election, explains how America chooses its president, your primer on the race to the White House, everything you need to know about how America votes, and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained, every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.